What's the reality?
Oh my goodness.
What's with the struggle? You can't fit on the couch.
I cannot fit on the couch.
Is it the couch or it's you?
A little bit of both.
I personally don't think it's the couch.
Finally.
It's you made it. You made it. Welcome.
I think this needs to be done the previous day, just so we can wake up and record. Go and dive straight into recording.
No, I don't think so. Anyway, hi, welcome to Diaspod. It's Diaspod, baby.
Welcome to the Diaspod. Episode 2, Season 3.
Woohoo, let's do it.
I always want to remind, I think I'm reminding myself, not anybody else.
I agree on that one. You need to be reminded. You really do.
Yeah, welcome to a new episode. And I think the last one was really, really good.
Yeah, we had so much fun.
Catching up.
Yeah, catching up. And also, I think everybody else had so much fun with us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, most definitely. Was it yesterday when you were telling me one of your friends would like to join us over here?
They want to come on the pod, people. They want to come and talk. Give them the platform.
Give them the space. Yeah, they'll definitely be coming through very soon. We'll invite them over.
Okay. You hear that for yourselves. I brought the message. You're going to be on the pod.
Yeah, most definitely. But yeah, before we get into, the topic of discussion for today, we need to check in on you. How are you doing?
Should I answer that honestly or for the sake of the pod?
Want honesty.
I'm here and there. I think maybe that's the best answer. I'm here and there.
Okay.
There's a lot going on in the background.
True.
Yeah.
Well, we hope you deal with it and it gets fixed.
Amen.
In the name of Yesu.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
True.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm okay. Trying to find the balance between, working and just living life and stepping out of the summer. I feel like, I haven't yet gotten out of that summer.
Nobody has the weather. The weather has us in a chokehold. It doesn't want to let us go.
The weather is just not giving up, right? It just doesn't. The summer doesn't want to go away.
It feels like we haven't made the full transition. It feels like we're still in September,
but it's good. It actually worked with our most recent photo shoot. You're looking good, by the way.
Yes, thank you.
Nice
too.
outfit.
Looking dapper.
Who's sponsoring you? Is that guy? What's his name? The guy that built his mom a whole. No, not built. Actually, renovated a whole house.
No. Unfortunately, I've not been dressed by Peter my life, but the lovely gentleman sitting right next to me picked out the whole theme with the outfits and everything. The only thing I did was bring myself. So
it's this one is dressed by John my life.
You heard it here. You heard it here first, people. Join my life. Coming to a store near you.
Oh, goodness me.
Yeah, but you dressed us. You had this concept for us to do these outfits. So maybe we should ask you, what was the inspiration behind you?
I actually, I've been talking about this for some time now. If you remember, I mentioned this. Was it from the last photo shoot? Maybe it wasn't the last one, or the one before the last one.
Yeah.
I wanted this concept of, wearing a jacket and you don't really have a shirt inside.
Oh, yeah. That's the concept. I know. Somebody wanted to be naked in the shoot, but hey, it's not about business.
It wasn't naked. You have a jacket on top. Come on, relax. But anyway, I saw this somewhere in a video and, I'm always looking around and I tried to to mimic that.
Okay.
So
We like it.
Came out nice. I think I'll actually, share some of the pictures that we ended up with. It was
yeah, they were really cute pictures, and as we say, the weather has been beautiful. We went at the best time of day.
Exactly. Yeah, so today we are talking about work, and because
Again.
we're talking about work and relationships. I
Like
thought
work
about this.
relationships? Like work relationships?
No, don't get mistaken. You remember we recorded the podcast, but then it's not gonna be published, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are talking about work in relation to how it affects relationships.
What sort of relationships? Because when you
like
because when you put the word work and relationships in the same sentence, for me, I'm like, oh, is it like you're having a relationship at work? Are you sleeping with your boss? Like
this is
your
not
colleagues?
this is not a business podcast. Everything we talk about here, when we use the word relationship, we mean an actual relationship between two people.
That's still ambiguous. Like an actual relationship between two people could be anything. I have a relationship with my lecturer. It's a relationship.
Oh my goodness, you don't get it. But anyway, you will rewatch this and then you will see how weird that sounds. But anyway, today, so we are going to talk about work in a home and how it affects two people dating, whether you're married or you are. Yeah, that's why I said you go back to this and you realize you're like, oh
no,
my goodness.
But I wasn't doing this for me because obviously I knew what you meant, but I just, don't be ambiguous about it.
Okay. Oh, whoever didn't get that, like my partner over here, I hope you get it now. Anyway.
Anyway. Yeah, so work and relationships.
Yeah, so I just, because all discussions are really nice when they start with a question. What comes to your mind? Like when you think about how your work, like just think about all the jobs that you've had through the course of, our being together.
In the course of the past 5 years.
Yeah. Has there ever been a time when like your job specifically or one of your jobs has affected positively or negatively like you and me?
Yes.
Can you just think of one instance, like the first one that just comes to mind?
Last summer. Okay, last summer wasn't so bad. In terms of like our relationship, but I think the first summer that we spent in Christiansen, I think that was one that's worth noting. And also I took a job in a whole different country one time, so that was also worth noting.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I'm most likely to take a job in a different country again probably in the future. So yeah, I think I'd vote for myself as the one most likely to go to New York.
Elaborate. You just said you took a job. So yeah, a bit more detail.
Oh, you asked me. You didn't say that. I should tell the whole story about it. But I think maybe everything. Which one should I do? Positive or negative?
All up to you. Do you like to start with the negative or the positive? But yeah, I guess it makes sense especially if you're talking about moving to a different country. Maybe you could touch on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did it go?
Okay, I'm going to do like both of them because then I can give. Of course, both of them had positives and negatives, right? But I feel like the one that I worked here the first summer we moved here. I think that one has more negatives because we never really got to see each other as often as we would have liked. I feel like I was literally just waking up, going to work and coming home to sleep.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was like, summer is when you're supposed to go out and do the fun things. And we didn't get like that time. And it was our first summer here in Christiansen, which is supposed to be like, the fun summer city.
Yeah.
So we really didn't get, I mean, we had like 1 or 2 dates here and there, but it was, yeah, it did take a toll on our relationship, and you can attest to that as well. Like,
True.
you were feeling left out and I was just feeling tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the one when I took the job in Denmark, we had just started dating seriously. And yeah, that was hard as well. But I feel like that one has a little bit more positives in terms of our relationship, because I feel like it was in that period where we developed our relationship. We had to choose our relationship above everything else intentionally.
Yeah.
That was when we like were really strict on the date nights. Date nights were a thing. Come rain, come summer, come.
It was every Friday.
Yeah, we was dedicated as the people who ran now.
And you remember Jack actually brought this up.
Yeah.
Like the time that they visited us, they were like, "Oh my goodness, you guys! We actually remember those Fridays and Saturdays when." Come rain, come sunshine.
Yeah.
You know, evening was meant for date night.
For date night, yeah. So I feel like that period of like long distance helped us like prioritize our relationship in a way, because we kind of structured our lives. Even though we were in different places doing different things, our lives were still like structured around each other in a way. See, I've been complaining to you now, like, when you see me every day, you forget about me because you're like, I'll see her later. I'll just,
I think that's
talk to
actually,
her then. Like,
that's one of the positives that you like. There's a positive side to everything, you know. Like, sometimes not being together with your partner is good, because you get to miss them.
Yeah, so it's. Yeah, so that's why I picked that one for like the positives, because it would be like no matter what. You used to text me for everything. We used to write each other letters. I used to do a lot more letter writing. But
come on, I wrote a couple of letters as well.
I said a lot more. I didn't say you didn't.
It's not a competition.
But I'm winning. So yeah. So yes, so I feel like during that period it made us be much more focused and prioritize our relationship, even like all the decisions that were personally made in terms of like personal life or what we wanted to do. It was based on us and what we were hoping for. Oh yeah. And what was like the next step. So it was always like that bouncing off each other. And I wanted to pick the two because they kind of parallel each other. Like,
true.
In the one that happened in the first summer, which was 2023, when we were here, it was like, oh, we're here, but we hardly see each other. Like the whole point of like, doing all this, moving to a new city together and all of that was so that we actually see and spend time together. So that was frustrating. And, of course, in the other one, the negatives were, of course, the distance. We couldn't do things as much as we wanted. COVID was also in the mix.
Yeah.
But yeah, the positive was even the conversations we'd be forced to have really difficult conversations. I think you broke up with me maybe like twice during that period. So
this is on record. I never broke up with you. Never. Maybe we had a fight. Like you had a fight and then you don't talk for like 4 days. Yeah. That's not breaking up.
It's breaking up in my book. But yeah, so
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Maybe
what about you? I'm not the one being interviewed here.
No, it's definitely not. I was going to talk about the summer, like summer work. And that came to mind as well. That's one that I wanted to talk about because we were obviously you're living in the same place. You see each other every day, but the kind of seeing each other was
hi, bye.
It was hello. How are you doing? How was work? It was good. I'm tired. I need to sleep.
Goodbye.
So and that obviously went on for like a month, I think, maybe more. So
like a month and a half.
Yeah, maybe a month and a half. It was almost an entire summer. So it always comes to mind, and I think that one was I vocal? I think I was vocal about it, not in terms of this is. I think I was much more worried about your health and how much you were working, not so much on how our interaction was, or like we didn't get to spend much time. I know I did touch on it, but I think the bigger
The focus
discussion
was
on, I mean, you are working, like leaving in the morning and then coming back late in the evening. So
I had 3 jobs. 3 jobs.
So I just wanted to go back to what you mentioned on your part, like the long distance relationship. What would you say would be a decision to make if people just get into a relationship, as we were? You clearly mentioned that we had just started dating seriously. Is it something that you would advise other people to do, in terms of, okay, you are just starting to date and then here's an opportunity, it comes through, one of you needs to leave? Unfortunately, like it was in our case, we both couldn't like move. Like one needed to remain behind. For various reasons, of course. Like what would you be your thinking like right now?
It's common knowledge now. Like there's no one size fits all for relationships, really, because what worked for us, I feel like for us it works to our advantage in a way, because as I said, we prioritize our relationship and we intentionally we put in the work to actually get to know each other, and all of that, because it would be different for other people where they're just, because when you're starting to date, you really don't know each other. So if your thing is, you have to be with this person to get to like learn them and know them, like if it's, how do I say? I feel like comparing to us, it was more of a state of mind. Like, this is where my mind is. But I know there are people that are more, I'm a visual learner as well. But there are people that are more like, see, do. I don't know how to explain it. So I wouldn't recommend it that, you just start dating and then you split apart, because you have to learn about each other. So it's, I wouldn't advise long distance for anyone.
But do you think it would have worked out for you and me as it did if we did not have, like, I don't know, 6-7 months of being together prior to that? Like, let's say if we had just been hanging out together for 2, maybe 3 months. And obviously it wasn't like, we were just hanging out. We obviously were looking to get closer in the future. But let's say just the first 3 months, you go like, oh yeah, I like this person likes me back. And then suddenly an opportunity pops up, and 3 months in,
I think would have died out, even you and me,
right?
Yeah, because we hadn't. Because that's why I said, like, we had just seriously started dating, so we had both consciously made the decision, like, okay, this is my person, this is my person. So we had moved from that stage of like, oh yeah, I'm hanging out with this person and like it feels good. Like we had moved from the getting to know, what do you call that phase? The initial phase.
Initial phase of, oh yeah, at least I know this and this
like I'm
about this
seeing this
person, and
like
something that can work out.
Yeah, so we had moved from that phase. So it was like, oh yeah, this is like I'm committing to this person. So if it's in the initial stages of like that, of you just started dating, you've hung out 3, 4, 5 times in like the course of the 3 months, and then this other person has to move, and then yeah, even for us, I don't think we would have survived that transition if we were not locked in, because it would have just been like kind of gotten the attitude, especially from you.
Yeah, true.
Of like, oh yeah, this person's gone. Okay, great. Maybe we'll pick it up when they come back.
If they ever come back, we'll pick it up. Okay. And now I'm thinking about, obviously we've touched on, you need some time to gel, to sort of connect, build that connection and understanding, and so that even if you are apart, you've already made that decision to say, it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
From our experience, like from our relationship, I'm sure there are other people. I mean, we hear these stories. I've seen these stories a lot on Facebook of people, they chat 3, 4, 5 days and they already know it. And they move in together or they get married after a week. So, I mean, as I said, love is not one size fits all for all relationships. So we needed the long distance. Other people would not need the long distance. Other people would. Yeah, it's hard to say.
It's hard to say. Obviously there are other people out there. I need to be closer to the mic. There are people out there who...
The long legs.
The long legs, my goodness.
Sit like me. Sit like Leo.
This feels so weird. But anyway, there are people out there who did the opposite.
Yeah.
Instead of maybe spending a little time together, like we did, it wasn't a little time, it was, a couple of months, obviously. But then there are people who are like in relationships together for a very long time. Let's just say the period that we've been together, we were never separated. Not separated in terms of breaking up, but like long distance wise, right? Yeah. Let's say we've been together for like 4 years straight. And then comes an opportunity for one of you to move to a different place. Now we're still on the part of like separating. You're still, dating, but you're in different places. Like, what do you think that challenge brings? Like, is it the same thing? Like,
honestly, I don't know, because it's something I've never experienced, really.
Because obviously I've
maybe
you
like have the experience, because my past relationships prior to this, no,
there's never been.
No, that experience is. It's never been my experience. So, yeah, maybe you could shed more light or give your insights, because for me, nothing really comes to mind. Of course, I could talk about what I've heard from other people, but
obviously that's valuable too. But yeah, I didn't really like date for 4 years and then you separate afterwards. But obviously I had an experience where you are with somebody for an extended period of time, and then you sort of move into this phase of you're in different places, like different countries, literally.
Okay.
And
seems like there's a story here. Story time.
It's not even a story. It's just,
Okay, it seems like there's an experience here. We want to know the tea. What happened?
There's nothing juicy here. Where you raise is it your eyes or your nose? You're like,
Tell us more. We want to know.
No, I think it goes back to preparedness. Yeah.
Preparedness,
I think one of
for what?
Preparedness, like you actually know what to expect. Like when
you can't prepare for long distance. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you.
Let me explain. Preparedness in terms of, I think what happened for me when you were about to like go to work in a different country, I think I knew what to expect.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, like you know what to expect, because the problem is when you're used to being with somebody, you always assume this thing of it's always going to be the same. Like,
okay,
you see them every day, whenever, like they're just a phone call away. You're like, oh yeah, like it was between you and me. You just, can I see you like in 10 minutes? And you're like, yeah. always available. If you just think of something to do, like, oh, we're gonna hang out, I don't know, like make some food or something, it's just a phone call away.
Yeah.
But then if you get this information that this person is gonna go away, then you prepare yourself. You go like, okay, this is a list of things that I used to do with this person, and you cross them out. You're like, okay, there's no longer going to be me hanging out with this person like physically.
Yeah.
You tell yourself that, and you're like, I'm expecting this. Like, you know, you put yourself in, you imagine that. At least that's what I did. I was like, and there's all this new part coming in of communicating. You're like, you need to be available for date night. Like you mentioned, you're like, for me, I had like friends, boys that wanted to hang out on like Friday and Saturday. And I was like, you have to be prepared to say no. Like, you have to be prepared to go like, no, guys, let them know I'm hanging out with my person now because this is important. Yeah, so that's the preparedness that I'm talking about, where you just don't go like, yeah, you know, we'll adapt. Like whatever comes, we're just going to make it because we're living together and it worked. So I guess that's what was different, and this is why I brought up like the previous experience that I had with being in a long distance relationship was that you just assume because things worked out when you were together and you're like, yeah, it's just gonna be the same.
Okay, I get your point.
Yeah. So
is that why that one did not work out? Because you guys
no, it was like a whole lot of other things. But we're talking about work, people. This is not about your previous relationships. We'll maybe have an episode of that, but not today. Not today, people. Not today.
Okay, you smoothly got out of that one. We'll let it go. We'll let it go.
Just not today.
But what about you? I'm curious because, you know, you make it seem as if I work too much. I'm the one who's always leaving. I don't know that.
You work too much. It's true. It's not me making it seem that way. Oh my goodness.
No, we're flipping it back. What about you and in terms of work? Because I'm sure you've had instances where you've had to work more or
yeah, I actually was going to talk about this. For me, it was not so much of working a lot, but it was about the type of job that you have and how it sort of affects your relationship and the confidence that you have in a relationship.
Okay, that sounds very important.
It's super, super important.
I have a follow-up question. Go on.
I'll probably answer it anyway. So you have phases in life, right? Where you are a student, for instance, like when we met, I was still studying.
Yeah.
And so that's...
And I was a working woman.
And you were a working woman, obviously.
No. Okay, I'll stop.
My point is, if you're a student, that's a phase in life. Like you are studying, you can have like a side job. I like to call it that. And that's normal, and it's okay to like do, I don't want to call odd jobs. Yeah, so it's okay. Like if you do it for a year or two, it's okay because you're studying and you're preparing for the future, right? Yeah. So for me, I feel like at some point I got stuck in this in the phase of preparing for the future in the same job, that it started to feel like I was lagging behind, because when you're dating like somebody like the first year and the second year, and you're like, yeah, you know, I don't mind having this job. It works. It pays the bills, and I have stuff to do on the side, right?
Yeah.
But then once you get done with school and you're now looking to get into that next phase of having, you know, a full-time job, or a job that, I don't know, pays better, a job like where you can use your skills, and then you cannot get to that phase, because I think I spoke about this last time, because, here you're in a foreign country and you need to speak the language. You need to like have all these different requirements that come in job adverts, but you cannot get that. And the longer it goes on, you sort of start to feel, what's the word? Demotivated. And it affects your relationship, because now you've moved from, oh yeah, I'm dating this person. Yes, he's in school and he has a part-time job.
Yeah.
But then 2 years later, okay, he still has a part-time job. Okay, 3 years later, he still has a part-time job. Okay. And obviously this is not coming from you, but you tend to reflect on this on your own and going like,
it was more internal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's obviously people around you as well.
Oh, the society.
And the society as well. So it's that pressure that comes with being stagnant, and that feeling of you're not sort of making progress. It starts to get to your head. And even though your relationship is going well, you're making progress on that end, there's this piece that's sort of stagnant, that's not working out with the rest of the relationship.
Yeah.
So that's a phase that I got, that I can actually think of, that comes to mind.
Yeah. Which I'm not sure. Are we done talking about the?
No. You can go back. We're not done if you still have something.
No, because my follow-up question, I've tried to hold on to it so that I don't forget, because my brain.
I hope you were listening to what I was saying.
I was listening to what you're saying, hence the follow-up question. So I do have a follow-up question, because just from what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
So from what you were saying, I now have a follow-up question. Do you think our work or careers have played a part in our relationship? Before we even give our opinions about other people's relationships, do you think, just like reflect from it, even us getting into a relationship, did that play a factor? Like, oh, this is like what this person does. This is this person's aspirations. I mean, when we met, we were still kind of like figuring out career paths, both of us, and all of that. But we were already in like two kind of like different spaces already. Like, we were really parallel.
Yeah.
So did that play a factor in like even deciding to be in the relationship in the first place? And has that continued to play a factor even up to where we are now?
It did. It definitely did. Like from my own like personal experience, it did right from the start. And the reason was simply that we met in a foreign country. And obviously, you tend to get this interest, like one thing about a person that clicks for you.
Yeah.
And for me, first and foremost, what clicked was that we were from the same country. And I definitely knew we don't have that many people from Zambia here. So for somebody to have like traveled, it was something special. And it was something special. And then afterwards, you have a conversation. I think you had plans of going to, was it England? The UK? You wanted to study there?
I was gonna dip. I was gonna go.
So it's definitely, it was a factor in that I knew you weren't this person that just wanted to follow the traditional, setup of life of just
you didn't want a housewife?
No, I've always wanted to be a house husband. I've always wanted to be that kind of guy. So it was it's something that obviously added to the interest that I had, because I'm I'm interested in, people that sort of want to take a different direction, and you did that. So you seemed like that kind of person. And yeah, to be honest, it has been like that.
It has continued to be
it
like
has
that.
continued to be like that. I mean, right after, it was 4 months later, and you were like, oh yeah, not 4 months, maybe. Was it 6 or 7? Yeah, 6 months. And then you were like, yeah, I'm moving to a different country.
Like, UK didn't work out, so now I'm going this.
We're going to try this out. We're going to try this out.
Yeah, okay.
So, and for you? Were
for me,
were you looking for a house husband?
No, definitely not. Okay, not definitely not. On the house husband, yes. And it's also because I think you can reiterate this. I think the first kind of like date, I would call that like our first date, was I asked you to cook.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So for me, that was like, if you didn't throw a tantrum, of course you were like,
it's a little bit disappointed, but
I was gonna say,
okay.
like, you weren't upset. You were just like, because you were expecting, like I would do all the stops, cook for you. Sorry, no. It was my interview to you. What are you bringing to the table? So,
literally.
For me, I've always known if I was going to end up with somebody, for me, having somebody that can cook and be happy about it was always on the top of my list. Handsome, and when they say that, oh, ladies like to make a list, oh, he has to be handsome, he has to be what. I think for me, on the top of my list is like, this man better know how to throw down in the kitchen, because
he better be a good cook.
Yeah. So in terms of like career and work and all of that, as you said, it's also the interest of, after we had a conversation, you are studying something I've never heard of before in my life. So, which is interesting. I feel like if you don't be like, oh yeah, I'm studying medicine, or like, oh yeah, I'm studying law, I'd have just been like, oh yeah, sure, good for you.
It's like, good for you.
And I'm sure I'd have already had like that perception of like, this is somebody that I probably won't even see again because they're probably so busy. But when you told me what you were studying, I think like my brain even like had a malfunction, because I was like, wait, what?
It's like, where? What?
Exactly. So as you say, when you get to have the conversation, it helped that we're from the same country. And as you've said, it's very rare to be out here and you meet like a potential husband.
A potential wifey.
Yeah. Because we were in like the group of peers in the same age-ish, because usually abroad you'd meet somebody like who's either younger or older. So it was like a unique thing to be like, oh, okay, hi, how are you?
An age that works.
Yeah. So yeah, it's right. You're right. It's from the initial stages, it was that interest of like, oh, this is what this person does, and this is like the direction that they're hoping to take. And it's interesting when somebody's always challenging you, and and for me, what interests me about you, even up to this day, I think I've told you this before, is how you commit to something. Like when you're really interested in something, you're like, I don't commit that much. I leave room for disappointment. But you go like 100% in.
You need to go in, people.
Yeah. So yeah, it's
Thank you for that. I'll hold on to it forever and ever. Okay. Very interesting. Also, I wanted to. I know this is all over the place, but we're still sticking to.
Still on theme
to work and and relationships. My next question is about how you manage sacrifice. Let's say,
who are we sacrificing?
Oh my God, you've been watching too many horror movies. I'm the one who watches scary stuff here. But I mean sacrifice in terms of giving up opportunities, right? I know over the course of our
Okay.
relationship,
Yeah.
there's been several opportunities that you and me have had to give up.
Yeah.
And how have you managed that? Not so well.
Yeah, I think that's a very important topic that you've brought about, the aspect of sacrificing. And it just brought me back to the thought of what I mentioned, even when I took the job in Denmark and I had to move to Denmark. I think what allowed both of us to be in a comfortable space of this is something that is necessary, like to happen for both of us, kind of way, was the initial choosing of each other or our relationship. So we knew like this move of me taking this job would actually be more beneficial to us if what we're trying to prioritize and build is our relationship. As compared to me going back to working in Zambia. Yeah. So it's the same thing with all the other things and opportunities that we've both had to sacrifice, because it's a thought that lingers even up to today of like, oh, if we didn't both move to Kristiansand and maybe you stayed, maybe it would have been a different career path for you, because Oslo has much more, opportunities and all of that. So I feel like sacrifice in the relationship will have to happen no matter what, because you are bringing two different people with different thoughts, different opinions, different ideas, different career paths. And you're trying to make that align into one family life. So it will still be two individuals who have to go out there and be, people that work in the society, but it still has to be connected to their family life. Yeah. So even in terms of, for me, I qualify for so many things that I have not been able to do or take, because then I know it would take me away much more from the family life that we're trying to build. Yeah. So I feel like sacrifice is inevitable, but there are some things you actually just sacrifice and let go, and there are some things you compromise on and go like, honey, I know we just moved to this new city, but like, would you move with me somewhere else?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
No, it is super, super important, because I asked this. I know there's a lot of people, I think your friends, our friends, who've experienced this. Like, you have this big opportunity. Obviously, like we mentioned, there's times when the other person maybe has a job in a place, you get a good opportunity, not obviously the biggest opportunity, but a good one, whether it's to work, or I don't know, just a good opportunity to to better yourself first, like to grow your career, for instance. Like, how do you navigate that decision between, okay, this is good for me to grow, but then also at the same time, I have to either leave, like the other person that I'm dating, or I'm supposed to ask them to give up what they're doing right now. And so we can go and work on this other opportunity that I have.
Yeah.
I feel like it's something that's so difficult to navigate for people. If you don't create this understanding of, just deciding like the two of you on should we or should we not?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think we did experience this. Was it this summer with school for you? And in that, I had just gotten a job, like brand new to it. But then here comes, all these schools that more than willing to accept you.
Yeah.
Like, how do you balance that between, okay, should we leave the job and go and get into a school that we feel is, better in the long run? Should we keep this opportunity here and like make sure that it works out in the end? So, yeah, I really appreciate the fact that we sat down and spoke about it. But I know a lot of people that have struggled with this because you sort of start to feel like, yeah, you are. What is it when somebody is sort of holding you, pulling you back?
Pulling you back.
Pulling you
Oh,
back,
wow.
or holding you back, rather. Or holding you back.
Yeah. That's why I mentioned that we always come back to like what's our priority. And it's our priorities. We are now building our family life. But that doesn't mean, of course, we can't have careers outside of that, right? Of course, we want to have careers outside that. We want to grow and develop outside of that. But when you weigh it of like, oh, of course we can't predict the future. We can only think, 2 paces ahead with what we have, the information that we have at the time. So we always try to weigh it like that of like, oh, okay, how is this looking 2 days from now? How is this looking, for us? It's opportunities are great, right? But can we afford it? And not just afford it financially. Can we afford it relationship wise to move? Or can we afford it relationship wise for us to be living in 2 different cities? Can we afford? Because also, I feel like you and me, we're at that point of where we are tired. Imagine if you had to take a train every weekend, or I had to take a train every weekend
That kind,
to visit. Oh.
Yeah.
Not that we are not dedicated. We would do it because, we love each other and we want our relationship to work. But then if you feel like you think about it, 2 paces ahead, like, okay, right now, how I'm feeling is this. Of course, we can't predict the future. Maybe I would feel differently then, or things would work out differently then. But if really the sacrifice is like, it's weighing, I don't know. What is this economics thing? The opportunity cost is more.
Opportunity cost. Oh, economics.
Is more than, what you're expecting to gain on returns. Then, then the sacrifice is worth it, in my opinion, from my experience.
True.
Yeah.
True. We're almost approaching an hour. Lastly, last discussion point was that do you ever feel like, not do you ever feel like, do you think like 2 people in relationships, or one or the other or one can outgrow the other in terms of career, like where it becomes
definitely 100%. Before you even finish your question, but finish your question.
Yeah, like that guy who was asked. I saw a video of a guy who was asked. It's like, would you for 1 million? Would you, like, even before the guy could finish the question? The guy was like, "Yes, I'll do it for 1 million." You don't even need to finish the question. My answer is yes, I'll do it. So yeah, elaborate on that. How do you?
What's the question?
But you said yes.
Of course.
Oh my goodness. Zakati guri sai.
See, boys.
Yeah, do you think a person can outgrow the other, like career wise in a relationship, like getting to a point where you start to go like, okay, at this point, I think this relationship is not good for me, or I'm way better than this person, or I think I've developed myself way too much, and maybe they're lagging behind. Where it starts to affect like your relationship?
I have a lot of thoughts on that. My thoughts went in so many different directions. That's why I say yes. And I say yes. Let me try and like group it or narrow it down into firstly, not in our relationship. At least we haven't gotten there yet. If we are going there, but I've had a previous relationship where I was told I'm too out there or I'm too ambitious. Like it was attractive, but at the same time it was like bad. Like I was making the other person look bad.
Look bad.
In a way. That's what they felt and that's what they told me. Which was fine.
Yeah.
It was great. That's why it didn't work out. So there's that aspect, right? And then there's also the aspect of where we mentioned it before when we're talking about the thing of like pulling your friend down intentionally because you're not communicating very well that, oh, I like what you're doing, but I don't like the fact that you're surpassing me.
Surpassing.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And then there's the other aspect of where, let's be positive, where you are able to grow together, right? It's hard to give relationship advice, and I really try to stay away from it these days because I've come to accept there is no
One size fits all.
there is no universal way to do anything for a new relationship. But I think one factor we can all agree on is communication is key. There are some times where I think even we've experienced this of where like something you would do, something I would do would irritate you or would irritate me. But I didn't even know about it. For me, it was just like, yeah. And it's very easy. This is very common in most of our relationships. It's very easy for this to happen. And you carry that with you. And then that now you start building layers on top of that. So I would rather tell you like, honey, I'm proud of you. I'm glad you got this promotion. But to be honest with you, I'm jealous. And I hope that you receive this not in a way of where like, oh, now you start feeling like, oh, now I can't share anything with my partner because, they are jealous of me. No, but you receive it in the way of like, oh, honey, I'm so sorry. It made you feel that way. What can we do? Like, how can we, us together, navigate this to, move to the next stage? As I said, we haven't gotten to that part of where like, you haven't told me you've been jealous of, my positions and all of that. But I feel like we haven't gotten to that part, but we've been very good in like passing the ball to and from each other. Like, oh, how's it going? You've been doing this and this is your career path. Like, how's it going? Like, what's the plan? How can I help? Like, we've been very good in like, so far at least.
Yeah.
Pushing the ball back and forth. Yeah, because we want to see each other succeed. Yeah, but I do understand. It also made me think of another thing of where most people I'm so sorry, I know I'm going over time.
It's okay.
But I wanted to give this of the point of where like we have seen this in most homes, and I have a little bit of a personal experience of this where one partner stops the other partner from working because, they feel like they are working too much or they feel like, they are doing way better than them.
Yeah.
I have no advice when it comes to that because no, if it's you already know that if you went that direction with me, you won't see me again. But yeah, it's things that do happen. So that's why I mentioned the whole thing of like communication, because a lot of things do get lost in translation in how you communicate, how you say things, and yeah. No, what's your take?
No, I do agree with the communicate part. It's good to say things as they are, just like you mentioned. You're like here's like you, for instance, getting a really good job. You climb up the ladder and I'm just down there and I feel some type of way. I feel like it's better to to be direct about it and go like, I'm super happy for you that you've gotten this opportunity, but like looking at where I'm at right now, I feel some type of way, whether you're jealous or you feel bad because, you're not making the same amount of progress, or you start to feel like, there's this sort of distance that's in between you in terms of where you both are career-wise. Like, it's good to like bring it out rather than let it, I don't know, eat you up inside or begin to just give signs of frustration and anger. I feel like it's better to communicate it out so that the other person sort of knows where you both stand.
Yeah.
So just like you've said, these things go with like being on the same page.
But it's hard to be on the same page always,
No, it's not possible actually to always be on the same page. I just feel like when you know what the other person is thinking, it's so much better than
it's
to
easier
assume
to navigate.
everything. Than to assume everything is good and go like, I'm taking up this job and my partner is happy about it. When in actual sense, they go around to their friends or their family and to go like, this person that I'm dating, she's, she's climbing up the ladder so much, like faster than I'm able to keep up. And now I feel like, I feel worthless in the relationship rather.
Oh yeah. When you were speaking, I just thought of like, I think it's important for us to talk about, because we are talking about, work dynamics in a relationship. And I know we've touched here, there, but I think it's important to also talk about like finances. Yeah. How is that? It came to me when you were talking about, when you are working in a higher position and your friend is working in a lower position. And how is it dealing with finances in the relationship, especially when someone is earning more than the other?
Yeah, super, super important. I think, that's one of the first things that we should have covered. But, they say last but not least, it's super important. I think, finances affect everyone. They have affected us. I think there's been periods when you're not making any money. There's been periods when I'm not making any money. And it's just super important that you like you understand each other on, I'm able to tell this other person that my situation financially is not so good. And it's just super important that you bring that out.
Yeah.
Because times like this are going to come, one way or the other. That's the first thing. Two, I think I've mentioned this with you, is that there's always going to be a difference. Like, I don't think there's a job out there between two people in a relationship and they're earning the exact same amount. What's important for me is to make each and every, like, both of you valued. Like, whether one person earns 20,000 and another one earns 5,000, just make sure when it comes to paying rent, if they have to contribute 200, like, just make sure they don't contribute zero, because that's super important in making somebody feel valued in a relationship. If when it comes to groceries, they have to buy, whether it's a drink or a tomato, make sure it happens and they just don't go like, oh yeah, because you earn a 5,000, I can cover the rest and I'm just going to be doing it like on my own.
I mean, some people prefer it that way.
But for me, it should obviously, but still, again, it cannot come from the person who's earning less. Like, it's like both of you need to do things together to make it, something that, and this is why I say this, my point.
Okay.
Look.
Because I'm about to argue. So yeah.
Look, because let's talk about rent, right?
Of course.
If you're both contributing to rent, you're not contributing the same amount to rent, depending on how much you're earning in the house at that time. One person is contributing 80% and the other 20%.
Okay.
If things shift, like at some point, the person that was earning less starts earning more,
Yeah.
it's easy to bring up a discussion of, I think now you're earning more money. Can we sort of balance this out a little bit or make some adjustments?
Yeah.
Than if the other person who was not earning at the time was not contributing anything. You cannot just come and go like, I think you need to start paying rent now. It's so weird. Like I feel like it's very difficult to move from zero to start doing something. And it's easier to move from like 20% to like, maybe you make an adjustment, you start
Like
paying 60-40. Yeah. And this is why I've always emphasized this, like you make the other person feel valued to say yes.
If they're contributing
something. You know, it's not just that, I'm just going to be doing everything because at that time or moment you can afford it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's at least finances, super important. And this is one other thing that we don't do as well, you and me. You need to like budget.
What don't we do?
We don't budget. You and me.
We used to.
Yeah, we used to.
But then why we don't do it now is because we figured it wasn't working.
No, it's because you just have money. But people who budget, they don't have money. You should budget.
Okay.
You should. But it's super important anyway. It's super important.
We do budget.
No, we do. We don't.
We don't do it formally anymore, as I say that. You say that is because before we used to formally like sit down and write a budget. But even now we do budget because we do like, we already know who's paying for what. And we know that, okay, even after we've paid for all the major things, we know that, okay, there's no way we're going to spend more than this on food. Like we try to stay within a sort of budget in a way. So we still unconsciously do it. Yes. But anyway, I was going back before you start arguing to me about budgets. Going back to the whole thing. My thing was, you talked about being a house husband. So let's take away, because the best example you gave was rent. So let's take away there is no rent being paid. There's a house and either one of us owns it, and you're like, you know what, just move in with me, you know? So there's already no rent being paid, and then I go like, don't worry, groceries, because you know it's this is how I've always done it in this house, and the people who are in situations like this, this is how I have always done it in this house, and I always get the groceries every Friday. Oh, groceries are always delivered every Friday, or like it's a Saturday thing. On Saturday we go and get groceries. So in your notion, and I know you're speaking from like personal experience and like, you know, what we've been trying to do and all of that.
Yeah.
So how does somebody navigate that in the way of where like, oh, this person already like offered to take care of everything, and when you kind of like try to go like, oh, I want to contribute, they feel some type of way about it, or like they feel this, especially, and I don't want to go like, oh, men, especially men, you want to take it as like your responsibility.
And like traditionally, that's how it's been anyway. Like you as a man, like not traditionally, like culturally, like that's how like people are brought up to say, as a man, you need to, you know, take care of the house.
Provider.
Yeah, be a
but
provider.
Then on the flip side, and not to crash any of the women out there, I feel like then that is also taken advantage of in a way.
It is.
So now how do we balance the dynamics there of... I mean, I know you can't imagine me doing that, but I always tell, okay, you know what? Like right now, I'm quitting my job tomorrow.
Yeah.
Everything's on you. What would be your reaction?
No, but then even before you get to that point,
no,
you can't just quit. Like
I'm quitting.
No, like my point is obviously you need to.
Okay. Here's another.
Like, why are you quitting? Is the question.
Yes, this is what I was getting to. It like, okay, I know how much you make. I know you can manage to pay for all our amenities and whatever. So then I don't need to work. So I'm quitting my job tomorrow.
No, but that's
what's your reaction going to be?
You said like you've mentioned that like I make enough money, right?
Mhm.
And I know there's a situation like that where I like get a good job and it's paying like a lot of money,
Mhm.
and we're able to like cover
Expenses.
all the expenses,
Yeah.
and we don't need any extra income, right? That kind of situation there.
Mhm.
Okay. But then it's an issue of contribution, right? Like, are you just going to stop work and then you just go like, okay, I'll just fold my arms and I'll just
Yeah,
sit?
like I'll just be a housewifey.
But then
My job will be to cook and clean.
You see, that in itself is a contribution as well. It counts.
But then we're talking financially. No, I was talking about the finances and where, I just quit. I say two's down because I know you're able to take care of everything and all, and just the financial aspects where, of course, in the home, in the family life, we are both contributing, of course, maybe because you're out at work more. So maybe I'm doing the cooking, the cleaning, the laundry, da 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 da. But when you're home during the weekends, you're also doing stuff. You do some cooking, sometimes you do some lawn work or something outdoors. So we're both contributing in that aspect, but just financially, it's just you.
So like this is where my point came from. Like this, everyone should put in something, was related to the fact that like a situation that you're both working, but you're just earning different amounts. Now, obviously, there are situations where one is not like working or one chooses not to work because the other person makes enough money, right?
Yeah. Or they are just not able to find a job.
Yeah, they're just not able to find a job. Like for me in that situation, it's better for you who has enough, like who's like working and you're making money to get like you just have to do that to get a portion of an amount that you earn. Give it to this person, and then before you start the budget, before you start the budgeting, like dealing with all these things that are supposed to be covered, whether it's rent and whatnot, they start off with this amount as well. And then you start making the contributions from there. Like my point for me is...
So you're still just going to be, it's just too good.
It just has to be, the other person has to feel like they're doing something as well. Yeah. Like that's just my point. It's just because these things are super difficult, like when it comes to finance. If a person starts to feel like, oh yeah, I'm not contributing anything here, it takes a toll. Like obviously for the other person who's providing, it might not be an issue, but psychology is big. Like when a person starts to feel like they're not enough in a relationship, just financially, it starts affecting everything else. Yeah. But that bit of appreciation where you just go like, yeah, it doesn't matter who's earning more or less here. We are both doing something. So it could be as small as just, just the action of actually paying the rent. Like, you obviously have the money, but just me transferring it to your bank account and going like, oh, baby, can you pay the rent? Or you transfer the money to my account and go like, baby, can you pay the rent? Just that action, it makes a big difference because at least the other person knows it's like, okay, I didn't earn this money, but I'm still like making the payment.
Can you send me money? I want to pay the rent. Why the no? I want to pay the
rent. Unfortunately, our rent is like one click away. So it's just key. I'm sure the rent pays itself. But
No, I hear you.
So my point was to just make the other person feel valued no matter what the situation is. And when situations switch, it's much easier to make adjustments.
Okay.
Yeah. At least that's just my thinking, and yeah.
It's based on our expertise, of course. And I'm sure there are so many different financial aspects
It
to
is.
being in a relationship that we probably, as I've said, I tried to give an example of like, where, but it just didn't work because
and also
limited experience in it.
Yeah, and also, people are different. I know there's people out there who don't want to worry about finance.
Yeah,
it's not just an aspect of a relationship that they want to have a headache over, and they meet a person who wants to do it all, and they want to.
I'm still looking for a sugar daddy. I'm just putting it out there.
And they want
even my husband knows.
Yeah, but you should have a lot of money because I need my lump sum. I need a percentage of those benefits. So I know there's people out there who can, handle all the finances, pay all the bills, and the other person, just focuses on other things of maintaining a relationship. It works. Like we said, it's not one size fits all. It's it's what works for the both of you and what you agree on.
I agree.
Like us, we don't budget. We just budget sometimes, but we know each other so well that we know she's the one buying tomatoes, I'm buying the greens.
We know what needs to be paid for. Like we've reached that point. And also like I think why we stopped budgeting was it was fluctuating every month.
Yeah,
like,
it was fluctuating.
We couldn't do what we did last month. So that's why we have like, we know who pays for what, or the big things, and like things like groceries. We both know like, if you went to the store, there are points where we ask each other like, okay, we're in the store, who's paying, you or me? Because it just depends on who has more money at the time in their account to pay for the groceries, because either way, we are eating the groceries. So I had a one last question before we go. So who wears the pants in our relationship? Who's the big boss?
Anyone who finds them. Honest.
I'm quitting my job.
Anyone who, if you find them sitting in the living room, you just wear them. Our relationship is freestyle.
Are you sure? Me, I don't think I'm this part of this relationship, which is freestyle.
It's freestyle. There's no lyrics to this. It's not written down, guys. But
okay,
no.
Okay. Since you refuse to, and you've dodged that one. Who has the better career in our relationship?
I don't think.
This person who's politically
no,
correct.
But what
just
do you
say
mean?
The answer to all the questions is your wife. That's all.
No, I actually wanted to say me. How
Thank
can
you so much, guys. This one doesn't know how to be.
This is why I say our relationship is freestyle, guys, because we don't conform to any standard. See, you said you're supposed to say your wife, but I'm here thinking about my own career.
The correct answer to any question for a husband is it's my wife. Hi.
Okay, you know that friend that we have? I think his wife has a better career than him.
It's not about them here. It's about us. Whoa! Are you trying to hide with your friend? Are you admitting it? Oh my god!
That's
Shady.
exactly what I was like, at least Shady. I mentioned that. But anyway, wonderful discussion. This is it's just nice reflecting on some of these things, because we know there's a lot of people who struggle with most of the things that we've covered today, and so
I mean, we are still learning as well, so
it's a process. I guess the biggest takeaway for today, like everything else in life, is that it's not one size fits all. This is just based on experiences that we all share, which are totally different. There's no right or wrong. It's just, it's just what we think. It's what we believe. It's just opinions at the end of the day. So it's just nice to talk about it and, learn. And if you have to adjust, if you need to stay the same, if you need to improve, you do that. So thank you so much for an insightful discussion.
Thank you. Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to make it to the next podcast though.
Oh yeah, my goodness, you're traveling. Yeah, hopefully. If not, then we could just we could do it. We could do it online. I know it's for me. It's cheap. I don't have to pay for data. So,
I'll be replaced. We'll see. The pod will tell me.
No, you never. You'll never be replaced. You are a co-host. I might have guests, but you are a co-host. Yeah, a co-host. We should learn from Karenga and his bestie. Sometimes he's alone on the podcast, and then because his friend is doing business, making millions apparently.
I am going to make the billions.
So you're going to make the billions. We understand.
Yeah.
So yeah. That was it for today. Looking forward to the next one. And
of course.
Wonderful. Until next time.
Bye.
Peace up. Oh.